Hi everyone. We are today going to be building a new deck. I'm joined by Boy Z99,
Hello, everybody.
and we are going to be building with Product Recall. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Product Recall. So Product
Sweet.
Recall is a zero-cost operation. It's an alliance, and it reads: this card costs 0 influence if you have 6 or more non-alliance HB cards in your deck. Trash a rezzed asset or upgrade. If you do, gain credits equal to its trash cost. So, anything you wanted to say about this card before we start building?
Well, the obvious combos include IG. The three obvious ones that people have come up with are IG, which is you're probably the one you're going to get the most value out of. There's also Oaktown Grid and Sealed Vault. And Sealed Vault can be good, and we might end up putting it in this deck. And Oaktown Grid pretty much isn't. So
right,
we went with IG
cool.
for
So,
this deck.
I think that's fine. Like I haven't really played much Industrial Genomics, but I've been wanting to. So this is a nice excuse to.
Yeah, it seems pretty strong with all the Faust around.
Yeah, we might actually be getting to the point where. I know IG is already tournament viable. It's a good deck. And I know good decks are coming out of some really creative minds, and I love watching them played. This one hopefully will not suck. So, all right. So where do we begin?
Well, we start with three Shock
Three
and
shock.
three Jackson Howard because
Okay.
those are the essentials to any IG deck.
All right. So we get our Jackson Howards. We get our shocks. Definitely agree there. Do we want to do our agendas now?
Yeah,
Because
I think they're fairly straightforward. I mean, we're not going to do anything fancy here.
yeah.
You want the Future Perfect GFI just because it's a pain.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of like standing on the shoulders of giants here in a
Yeah.
sense because we're going to take other people's well-known agenda suites and just put them to good use in a different build.
Hmm.
So, all right, so we're going to take the three future perfects, two fetal AI,
Yeah.
and three global food.
Hmm.
And this is a really solid build. It puts us at 22 agenda points, which is perfect because we're going to be playing a 54 card deck. And why would we play a 54 card deck?
Ho ho ho!
Everyone's favorite card.
I mean, I'm starting to think it might be your favorite card with the decks you play with it in it.
It's not that I mean, not my favorite card, but it is a fun card, I think.
I
And
like it. It's fun. It's cool.
yeah, it's a cool card. It's neat, and it helps out some decks that kind of needed it. You know,
Yeah,
um,
for sure.
it's almost weird that it's kind of a patch to fix noise and DLR, which they seem to have let run rampant a little bit too much. You know,
Hmm.
so it's sad that that is how they solved it, but oh well, we have to live with it.
Also, pe- people are starting to shove Museum of History in a lot of decks, and it's not some of them. There, it's just not good. And just because you can make your deck 54 cards and add three Museum of History and like two other like cool cards you wanted in your deck doesn't make it better.
Right.
And a lot of decks, like I know Code Marvelous for example, he was playing a Museum of History NEH deck, and just cut the museums and trimmed it down, and it was a lot better after that.
Yeah.
So not every deck really wants this card. This deck, however, with the low ice count and low agenda suite, and we just want to keep R&D as low density as possible, we definitely want this card.
Right, I agree. It wants to be in certain decks that, not that they don't want to get decked out. That's not the point. But it's that they have limited gas, if that makes
Hmm.
sense, and they
Yeah,
need to keep those cards kind of going. Right. Okay.
100% agreed.
All right. Cool. So product recall, we've got that. What else are we gonna want in this deck?
Um, I also think we're going to want Heritage Committee
Okay.
because I think a 2 of should be fine. It's just a solid card in IG.
Okay.
Um,
Heritage Committee.
it's it's just card draw. I mean, like we really don't want to be spending influence on anonymous tip.
Right.
And this card is a serviceable replacement. A fun trick you can do is you can put an agenda back on top, and then when you shuffle with museum, you shuffle that agenda in. So that's just one less agenda out of your hand if you're concerned about that. Um, that's all I gotta say. It's a
It's a cool card, and
yeah.
I like it too. And in these kinds of decks, Industrial Genomics decks, you really do want to be overdrawing and discarding stuff. You want to be threatening those shocks, right? And then just putting all the other things back in with your museum. So that's pretty awesome. Good synergy.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got our product recalls. What sort of things? Now we definitely want to get this alliance going, right? Because that's the whole point of this deck, right?
Yeah.
Is to abuse product recall but not pay any influence for it. So what are we going to add?
Well, you were suggesting the clone suffrage movement.
I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, like that's we I think we start at 2.
Oh no,
I
the image isn't working. Let me see if I can find
well, yeah. They'll show us it here.
it. No. Well, it gives us the text.
Yay! So if you didn't know what it does that.
Okay, yeah, that's right. It is a 1 cost to res, 2 trash cost influence asset that's political that just came out. It's an HB, and it has a girl riding on the shoulders of a clone, I think.
Yeah.
And she's really happy. And it says when your turn begins, you may add 1 operation from archives to HQ if there are no ice protecting the server. So this is one of those political cards that only work if it's not being protected. So it has to kind of be open. It's a neat little trick, right? It's a neat theme that politics is kind of like supposedly transparent and not iced, right? But really it's not at all, right? So let's get back to where
I think that's the same with all the political cards.
Yeah. So we've got 1 clone suffrage movement. You wanted to start with 2 though, right?
My screen's all messed up. It just shows a NetRunner page on mine.
Let's
That's not good. Oh,
did that work?
nope. Now everything's pink.
Okay, take my word for it. So so we have 1 clone suffrage movement. Do you want 2?
I think we want to start with 2. We can cut if we don't.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so we've got 2 HB cards. What other HB cards would we want to add?
I'm just gonna go look at my other window because I can't see at all what you're doing.
That's okay.
All right. Well, I think we want some cerebral overriders because if we're gonna be taking this deck in a flatline direction, which I assume we are, just because IG is already a really potent flatline threat.
Right.
The advent of cerebral overrider can just be like devastating to not any runners, but lots of runners.
Right.
Basically anyone that's not Atom.
So 1 would put us at 3 HB cards. Do you want more than 1?
I think 2 is good.
Okay.
I don't know how we're doing on influence, but
well, it's hard to see because
yes, it came back.
It came back. Yay.
All right. Yeah, because we got 6 taken up by museum, 6 taken up by product recall.
Right.
So we're still
doing okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, when we're looking at HB cards, we want them to be like trashables, right? So we can make use of our ID ability. And I'm just looking at a list of cards right here.
Sure.
And we're gonna have if everything goes to plan, we're gonna have a ton of money with
product recall, yes. Absolutely, yeah.
And my thought is to put 2x panic button in.
Panic button, okay. That's interesting.
This is just purely an idea. So what I was thinking was basically what we could do is we could, assuming everything goes to plan. My phone's going off. Sorry.
It's okay.
We could panic button like half of our deck into our hand, and make all our museums and Ronins like untrashable for the rest of the game, right? We're gonna be able to put them back. We're gonna just be able to pitch them, and with all these cards in our hand and all these cards in our discard pile, we can just like slow advance Ronin, and just like they can't do much about it.
Right.
That's the dream scenario. I don't know if panic button is really the best option, but it's definitely something.
That's a good option. Yeah, I mean we have 1 more. I think we're 1 influence over if I can count right. So this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Or that's exactly right. So we need to actually make room for one more influence, if that makes sense. One more HB. So I think we're going to have to cut one of the cerebral overriders or one of the clone suffrage movements.
I would lean towards the suffrage movement, but that's your call.
I'm fine with that. Whoops. What is going on?
I think you clicked on it.
I did click on it. Sorry, everybody. Let me fix things. Okay.
All right.
The internet is a little bit out of whack today. All right, so we got a panic button. Yeah. So how about we just throw in like one green level?
I just really don't like that.
Yeah, well, we need draw, right?
We do need draw. We have it in Two Heritage Committee and the panic button. I don't have any better ideas.
Well, we'll try it this way for now, and
right.
if we need two panic buttons, we'll grab another panic button. Okay, we got our influence pretty much set. Product recall is going to be free now.
Yeah.
Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe we need one more, so it's get a green level. Okay, there we go. Now product recall's free.
Aren't we?
No, we're fine. I think museum will be fine. Yeah, it'll go down, so we'll be good. All right, so we've got all our stuff for HB, and now we just get to add in all the fun stuff that IG is good at making more fun than usual. So
snare.
So let's add snare. Yeah, let's see snare. How about Mushin Notion? That's a pretty useful card. This is also a really good card that we can get back with our clone suffrage movement if we don't.
Wait, is clone suffrage movement the top operation or any operation?
It's any. There's no top or bottom in the corpse. So it's only a runner. Yeah. So you can get back the Mushin Notion. You can get back product recall. So money, attempting of scoring, or just trying to trick the runner. More draw. More draw. So we have a lot of options here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got shocks, we've got snares. Do we want Ronins?
Yeah. I mean, that's our win condition, right?
Right. Let's put in 2 Ronin for now. I've seen a lot of decks running just the 2 Ronin because they're sort of... you want them to... You don't need that many of them, right? You only need, like, the 2, maybe. So we'll try to do that. So then how about another new card that came out, and we're not going to get the name of it, or the image of it here. Let's go into Netrunner DB and do that.
Yeah, it's the Bioethics Committee.
Yeah, Bioethics Committee. This just came out today.
No image.
Okay, boo. Okay, no one has the images yet, so it's all like... let me see if I can find it.
For Slotline, maybe?
Yeah. Is it Bioethics Netrunner?
Association.
Here we are. Let's see if Anchor has the image. Yay, okay.
We're doing this on the fly. All right, here you go.
Cool. So this is a 1 cost, 2 to trash political asset, and it's in Jinteki, 2 influence. Mm-hmm. And it says, when your turn begins, do 1 net damage if there's no ice protecting the server. So this is effectively the Jinteki form of the Clone Suffrage Movement card, right?
Yeah.
All of the different corp assets that are political have this kind of, when your turn begins, do X if there are no ice protecting these servers. So this one's a really, really strong in IG because its trash cost is just 2, but because IG is so awesome, it's going to be really hard for runners to deal with this. And if they get caught off guard, like say 3 of these get rezzed, that's like another best case scenario, right?
I think you definitely want 3 of these. Like this is
sure.
This is like it's a must trash asset. Like people say museum is must trash. Like you don't have to trash like a museum. Like you should, but you don't have to trash. You don't have to trash DBS. This is directly impeding your gameplay as you're the runner. So you can't just sit there and let the court do their thing. You have to go get this.
Yeah, and I think that what's crazy is if there's a couple shocks in archives, you simply can't do it because it gets rezzed, you lose some cards, and if you don't immediately have enough money to trash it, because there's, it's too big, you have to run archives and you take some net damage, and then you run and trash it, and then how many, and then you have to do it to all of them, right?
Yeah, they have 0 cards in hand. You res a hostile infrastructure, and they're like, well, I can't trash that now. It's just crazy.
That's a crazy card. I love it. All right, let's put these in there. So bioethics, if I can get out of here. There we go. Okay.
And I think this will replace Chairman Hero in a lot of those decks, just because you'll pay them for 3 when you won't, instead of forcing them to discard and taking that risk with having Chairman Hero in your deck that they can just pay to steal. This will ping them at the beginning of your turn, and then you can Ronin them to death. That
Right.
said, it doesn't really get around I had worse, but like that's something you just have to deal with.
Right, true. I was thinking of still including the one hero because we could product recall him, and that's not terrible.
That is true.
And if we fail, like say we res the hero, and we fail, we can get the product recall back maybe with a clone suffrage movement or something, and then just trash him and start the whole process over again or something. So, shuffle him back into R&D. So there's some options there. It seems kind of cool. I like the panic button. I think I'm on board the panic button. I usually don't see this card, but it's a really neat addition here, and we're gonna have a lot of money. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of money. Product recall. Oh, we need diversified portfolios. Isn't that right? We're gonna try to.
Yeah.
So we're like 2 diversifieds maybe.
I mean, it's not as good as the original IG, where the original Chris Hinkey's IG, because that one has a lot more remotes. Are we going to be doing turtlebacks in this? Because I don't know, if we're doing diversified, it seems like we should get on that train, like
We could
the
do that.
turtlebacks.
Yeah, we could do turtlebacks.
Although we might just not need it.
Yeah, we might not need it in this deck. It does seem kind of like unnecessary with all the stuff we're doing. Like we're gonna be having. I mean, product recall might just take its place as a money card.
Sure.
You know.
But then if we're not doing the turtlebacks, I really don't think we should be doing diversify. Just
Okay.
unless you want to change those green level clearance to assets. Because if we can change those green level clearance to stuff that can be installed in a new remote server, I think I like this plan a lot better.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Unfortunately, there aren't a whole lot of one-cost assets that are good
Out
for
of
us.
HP?
Yeah. There's Alex Talbot, which is
No.
not great. I mean, we could
Yeah.
try that.
Mm,
I kind of don't
I'd be
like it though.
leaning. I'd be leaning just to like. Yeah, this is a.
If we play just like 2 diversified portfolios or 1, or maybe just 2 is fine. We still have a lot of stuff we're going to spam out there. We already have 23 assets, which is
true.
quite a lot, and we're only going to be playing a couple of ice. Maybe we should talk about ice here. So
Yeah, like we
don't need that many. We don't care about ice, right?
We do need hostile infrastructures though. Don't
Oh,
forget
yeah.
about those. Like at least 2, maybe even 3.
We'll play 3. I think we could do that.
We have the money for it. Plus, we can product recall it.
That's true. Wow, that's pretty cool. Just really don't want this anymore. Gain a bunch of money. Okay. All right, that sounds good. So we've got all that stuff. We probably want some ice. I'm thinking Kamainu is a pretty decent.
I don't know. I think I mean, Kamainu is cool, but
Yeah.
I think we just really want something we can spend all our money on. Because I mean, like we have a lot of money and not much to do with it.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that's fair.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything you just let's like pay a bunch of money for net damage? I guess Neurals. We could put Neurals in. With that
Yeah,
combos with the suffrage movement.
Sure. Let's put some Neurals in. We're up to 52 cards, so keep that in mind. That means we only have 2 more slots left. But we're perfect on influence. My calculations were correct.
Yay.
This seems pretty good, actually. So two cards.
Is there anything we're missing from like the traditional deck? I mean, we could like. Really don't think we need hedge funds with these green levels.
No, I don't think so either.
Our third Ronin's always a possibility because it's a 54 card deck, and we don't really have anything better.
Well, we could also do Junebug.
Junebug.
Could do one
Junebug.
Junebug.
One Junebug would be funny. We could do tech startup. I think that's what we want
Tech startup. Okay.
because we could fetch our one clone suffrage movement, or a Ronin,
Right.
and it's just like it's just going to be useful. Bioethics Association. I don't know if that combos with that.
Oh, I like that. No, I really like that. It doesn't because you'd have a turn. They'd have a turn to see it, which kind of sucks. But that said, they just have to go trash it and waste all their money and time. So that's not terrible. Tech startup's a pretty good option.
Unfortunately, we can't get our panic button.
That's true. Yeah.
Something I'd be looking to put in would be Hogusai.
Hokusai,
But
yeah.
I don't know what we should cut. Like
Let's cut.
maybe one tech startup.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's cut one tech startup. Let's see if we can fit a couple Hokusai. They're pretty good in this deck.
Yeah, especially if like on R&D against even like just like a keyhole deck is just like a massacre.
Yeah. Do we want all three neurals? Do we want all three snares? Like,
Yeah,
what
you
do
were
you
about to say
think?
shock, and I was like,
No, we need
whoa.
Shock. Shock's like the best card in the deck. It's really,
I'd
really
be
good.
I'd be leaning towards cutting a turtles maybe,
Hmm.
just because we already have some or diversified.
Yeah.
One or the other. I actually like I like turtles better than diversified in general. But since we have the suffrage movement, I don't know. I think we might be kind of taxed on our suffrage movement if we're trying to get Mushins, Neurals, and product recalls back. So I'd be more leaning to cut the diversified rather than.
That's a good point. Yeah. What we are doing, though, to keep in mind is that because we're using product recall to recycle our stuff, we
Mhm.
are ultimately putting stuff in our garbage that we're going to need to shuffle back, right? So we're going to lose remotes with our diversified. So we could cut a diversified. I think I kind of agree with you on that. So let's cut a diversified. Let's play one just because value is value, or we could play an
Mhm.
interns as an alternative.
I don't really like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
we have all this recursion already.
yeah.
Yeah. Two Kamainus. We
I
could
don't know
add
if
one more.
that's the idea.
Something.
We probably want another Hokusai, right?
Yeah, that's right. We were going to go with the next Hokusai. So two Hokusai. Okay.
You want to look at Jinteki Ice because I'm not really convinced Komain is the best option. Just looking
Yeah.
at
It's
because like if we ping him with bioethics, then it's just going to be like, and if we don't kill him, it's going to be Komain is just going to be. It's not even going to be like a tax at all.
well, I guess the goal is that they run, hit a Kamainu, and have to pay through it or something, and then can't
And then
trash
we
the
kill 'em.
bioethics or
Yeah.
something like that. So I mean, I think the bioethics, if we can get these things online, it
It
just
should-
could be game over right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the goal, right? And I'm sad that that is not loading on the new Meteor. So Meteor moved to meteor.stimhack.com, which I'm very happy about, and your decks are not gone. So, but yeah,
Yay.
they're probably just dealing with uploading the new cards at the moment. But this looks good. I like this. This seems cool. I'm not 100% sold on the 3 Neurals. I know that Neurals are important for this kind of deck, but I also don't really like holding these in my hand.
Well, okay.
You know what I
Can
mean?
I just say what I think? Okay, so I think since we're having more money than the traditional Hinkies style deck, so I think Neurals are even better in this deck because we're paying with bioethics. That gives us more opportunities, and if we can just even just Neural them a couple times,
Hmm.
uh, just for value. I mean, that could like zap their whole turn just by making them draw cards.
That's fair. Yeah, I agree.
Um,
This seems gross.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm just trying to think if there's anything better than Komainu we could like, go with, but I don't think there is, really.
Yeah. So like I've taken a look at a couple of decks that have done well in tournaments that were IG, and they all run like just 2 or 3 ice, and they
Yeah.
always have Kamainu, just for the fact that it's.
I've actually never seen him in a one with Komainu. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Oh really?
you, but
Okay.
yeah.
No, that's okay.
I usually see him with Yaguras.
Yeah, Yagura is another
and
one,
Mother
yeah.
Goddess.
Mother Goddess. Okay. Yeah, we could add we can play like Yagura or something like that, and one
I,
Kamainu.
I like Komainu better in this one though.
Yeah, we have
I
a
was
lot of money.
thinking Cortex Lock might actually be better.
Oh, that's a good
but
idea.
Like 1-1 split with Komainu.
It's not a terrible idea. I guess the big thing about Komainu is that you can't break it with Faust. You have to go get your Mimic, right?
That is true.
Yeah. And then
we're already pretty hard teched against Faust, though. To be
we are pretty, yeah. Let's see.
like, I'm just thinking it's like a Shaper. Komainu isn't going to do much. I guess Cortex Lock won't do much against a Shaper either.
Right. Right. I think in that case, you just want to snipe all the recursion, hopefully,
Yeah.
and just outlast them. Yeah,
Mhm.
we'll have to see. I don't know. I've never piloted a deck quite like this, so it looks like fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to take this first spin, and we will see you on the flip side. See you guys.
Bye, everybody.